Good afternoon, Facebook. We're back with another Facebook Live career coaching session. I'm really excited for today. I do want to apologize for being a little bit late. We ran into some technical difficulties getting everybody logged on, but we're all here and we can all hear and see each other. So that's great on our end. If you are watching, make sure you let us know that you can hear and see what we're saying now. That's very important. So if you're watching, throw in the comments, let us know that you can hear and see us. We're going to give everybody, just to be conscious of everyone's time, about 30 seconds to join as we get ready to talk about Kentucky Career Centers starting to reopen, which is great news. We're really excited to be able to do that and to offer some limited services. So we have Ellen Bates and Corey Eimer who are going to join us today to discuss what that looks like and what we're expecting, because there have been some changes. If you've seen some news, WCPO had posted a story. There were some changes that we've had with some rise in COVID numbers. So, but we're back and we're ready to adjust the best that we can. So, Elizabeth, thanks for watching. Let us know if you can hear us. Obviously, you can see us, so hopefully you can hear us as well. But Ellen and Corey, thank you so much for taking time out of your day. I know you guys are very busy to join us and talk a little bit about reopening.
Thanks for having
us.
All right. So we are going to go ahead and get started. If you're new watching us, this is just kind of a question and answer format that we'll go through with Corey and Ellen about what it looks like for Kentucky Career Center starting to reopen here in Northern Kentucky. And then there'll be some opportunities for you to ask questions at the end. So just throw them in the chat and we'll be able to get to those as we go through. But we'll go ahead and jump right into it. So if you can, Ellen, if you just want to take a moment to introduce yourself to us and your role with Brighton Center.
Sure, absolutely. So as Garrett mentioned, my name's Ellen Bates. I'm the Workforce Innovation Director with Brighton Center at the Kentucky Career Center. And I oversee the direct workforce services under the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act. And so we are really excited about restoring some in-person services as a complement to our virtual services that we've been offering. So
excellent. So thank you for taking time to join us. So, and Corey, that'll lead us to, if you just want to take a moment to introduce yourself to us and your role with Brighton Center.
Sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Corey Eimer. I'm the Kentucky Career Center operator with Brighton Center. One of my roles at the Career Center is to oversee all of the partnerships that make the work happen, and along with some customer service and outreach communication and a few other things.
Excellent. So, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to hide myself because I just got a message that my computer is about to die, apparently, or restart. So I'm going to hide myself, ask the question, and then fix it on the back end while we're in the middle of this. So this is just the first question is, with everything that's happening with COVID-19, just to, with us reopening and what that looks like, or what are some steps that are in place to ensure that KCC staff and customers can adhere to CDC COVID safety and guidelines? And I'll hide and turn myself over to you guys really quick.
Yeah, absolutely. So, we've been providing virtual services since the start of the pandemic. We've been able to transition a lot of our services and have really been working with all the Career Center partners and across the state to kind of figure out how we safely provide some level of in-person services. And so, we'll be definitely doing everyone, is required to wear masks, checking temperatures as people are coming in. And we've really put some great social distancing measures in place, including providing some outdoor kind of triage situation there, to limit the number of people who are actually coming into the building.
And just to add to Ellen's comments, we were looking forward to restoring in-person services as of yesterday, the 2nd, and then of course the timing of several of our northern Kentucky counties going into the red really sort of made us pause and step back and rethink what we're able to do now in an in-person way, but still confident that we're delivering services virtually in many ways and some in person, but limited at this point.
So that was an adjustment to kind of, I think that had sprung on us on like Thursday at 4 or 5. So we're open to adjusting, and thanks everyone for being patient. I don't know why my computer just said it was going to turn off. So, but that's fixed now. So hopefully that is taken care of. But thank you for just kind of bringing up what that looks like, and how we can do that and how we can keep everyone safe. So now I kind of want to get into the meat of it. What are the services that can kind of be accessed at the Kentucky Career Center with the restoration of limited in-person services?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the big adjustments that we made at the last minute is, we know that there is a digital divide for many of our customers. And so with, everything kind of being the virtual with the pandemic, there are some customers who are lacking access to technology. So one of the things that we had really hoped to provide was access to our resource room. But as Corey mentioned and Garrett mentioned at the very end of the week last week, paying attention to some of our northern Kentucky counties going into red in terms of the pandemic numbers, we are holding off on providing those resource room services. However, we are still able to help customers, either over the phone or with, an appointment time in a place that is safe and socially distanced for everybody. So we can do career coaching appointments. We can help people with their resumes. We can help with interview prep and connection to job search and applications. That filling out an application seems like a simple thing to do, but I know for many of our job seekers, and if you've ever tried to do an online application, inevitably there is something that trips you up in the process. Have to have so many characters in a field to answer something correctly, or it has to be in the right format. And so we'll really work with customers to help navigate that process, and have been creative about doing that, over the phone or, trying to provide some level of access to technology in that way.
I think that's great. And just to touch on, I don't think I've ever seen an online application look the same. I think they're all different. I've never seen an online application. If just me looking for, applying for positions, or if that was, helping a customer do it, I don't think I've ever seen an online application be the same format. It's always different. So that's challenging, and to have someone, especially to help you through that, whether that's virtually or over the phone, is really important. So that kind of leads us to more sort of, the services that we can access, what that looks like, and how we can be safe doing that. If we just want to talk about the locations and the hours where that can kind of be accessed.
So we've been offering in-person services for a couple of months now in a few of our locations. One in Williamstown that's now located at the NKU Grant County Center, as well as at our CVG Airport location and our Kentucky Career Center in Carrollton. We've recently introduced limited in-person services at our hub, or a comprehensive center in Covington, as well as our affiliate center in Florence. So those are the most recent additions. Really, their hours are, since the majority of services are by appointment only at this time. I would encourage job seekers or employers to just give us a call. They could call our main number at 292-6666. That's 859-292-6666. And they can access really services from any of our 5 locations.
And if you'll notice, and you're watching with us live, or you're watching, later tonight or later in the week, the number is scrolling across the bottom, as well as our website. And we'll be sure that we put that in the comment section of the video so everyone can see it and access it later. That's really a great way, to contact us, is just through that number. Call the general number, and that'll get in contact with us. And for job seekers, we also have an email address. That's careercoach@brightencenter.com. And we'll be sure that we throw that in the comment section as well, because that's a great way to get into contact with one of our talent development specialists.
And Garrett, if I could just add, one of the other things,
Yeah, of course,
that
please.
we're doing is access to hiring events, and we have been doing those virtually. We have the other Facebook Live is that we highlight an employer with, which we've had some connections from that for job seekers. But we've also been doing drive-through hiring events, and we'll continue to do those as part of that limited restoration of in-person services. We found that that's really successful. Oftentimes people, again, just kind of want to talk to someone.
Yeah.
And so we've been able to successfully socially distance and keep people outside by doing those drive-through hiring events. And so we that's definitely part of our services available moving forward. There are a lot of employers in the region that are looking, to hire individuals. There are a lot of industries that are in need of hiring, transportation and logistics, manufacturing. Those are two industries they're really in need of some people right now. And so as we're getting calls about people who are receiving unemployment, or as we're talking with customers in that outside kind of, in those outside limited services, many of them, are obviously looking for work. And so we are able to make those connections to employment through that way.
Yeah, I think it was an article in WCPO where they had interviewed Tara Johnson Nome of the ad, and talked about just the amount of jobs that were in Northern Kentucky, which is a little shocking. And that's something definitely, if you're watching or you have friends or family, there's lots of opportunities that are available right now. And we'd love to be the bridge to connect you or someone that you know to those employment opportunities, especially, given everything, that's happening right now. So one question I did want to jump in on another one here is, and we might have briefly touched on this, but if there are issues with travel, and you can't get to these locations, what's the best way to still receive these services?
So the best way, if transportation is a barrier for you, is to reach out via phone or email. I think Ellen mentioned the email address careercoach@brightoncenter.com, or the number that I see is scrolling on the screen there. We will do all that we can to deliver services virtually to you. And if there's one positive thing that's happened as a result of the pandemic, it's that we've learned a lot of new and creative ways to bring services to not only our job seekers but our employers. And so we have a pretty big menu of opportunities to take advantage of our services virtually right now.
And just to add to what Corey just said, at the height of the pandemic, we transitioned our phone line to be able to that our local number to get customers connected directly to the UI line in Frankfurt, because we were seeing so many calls for that. But with the restoration of some in-person services, we have resumed having a local person answer those calls within the Career Center. And so when you call that 859-292-6666 number, there will be a staff person who answers that, and can, get you connected to that connection to a job, those business services, to a talent development, to a career coach. And if you're seeking unemployment services, then can definitely continue to transfer to that Frankfurt line.
Yeah. And that's definitely something to consider, with unemployment and everything that's happened because of the COVID-19 pandemic. And that actually leads us into our next question.
If I can just add one more thing real quick.
Go ahead.
Before we move on. The timing is kind of interesting because, as Ellen is saying, that, we are available locally now to respond to those phone calls. It just so happens that there are state phones, and Election Day is a state holiday. And so all of the phones across the state in career centers have been shut off. So if you call today and you can't get through, please don't be discouraged. You'll be able to get through tomorrow, and we apologize. The timing just so happened that because it's Election Day and we have state phones, you will not be able to reach us today, and I'm sorry.
That makes sense. Then reach out at the career coach at brightencenter.com. We're available through email. But again, yeah, thanks for pointing that out, Corey, because that would probably be something I didn't consider, that they are state phones, so they would be turned off today. But it is election day. So, and that leads us into our next question, Ellen. And we talked about unemployment, and we do know that there's a large demand for that. And that traditionally the career centers have been a resource that someone can potentially access their claim using the resource room, maybe get a general question answered. Again, with Brighton Center, we don't work for unemployment. We're not experts in that area. But we might be able to provide general guidance like this is where you need to go or that type of thing. What is really the best way, Ellen and Corey, that if someone does have questions about their unemployment claim to contact someone? I guess if Ellen, if you want to go first.
Sure.
And then
we keep jumping over each other and pausing at the right times, Corey. So the best way is to go to the state website, kcc.ky.gov.
Okay.
All unemployment services are happening virtually and over the phone. With the restoration of some in-person services, unemployment is not included in those. And so we are not able to provide unemployment services at the Kentucky Career Center locations. As Garrett mentioned, we do know that there are many people who are seeking those services. And so we want to make sure that we're providing the best guidance to get them connected to that right, that right phone number, that right address, that right link. And so kcc.ky.gov is going to have the most up-to-date information for individuals who are seeking assistance with their claims.
Yep. Corey, is there anything that you would want to add, or?
Actually, I don't think so. I think Ellen covered it completely. We are available to assist, but we're very limited on what we can assist with unemployment. As Ellen said, we don't have unemployment staff on site, and so we can give customers direction on what the best avenues for them may be to access that assistance, but unfortunately we're really not in a position to do that for them at this time.
Yeah. So, and I understand, and it's just, that's something that we've seen since this has happened. And being the Kentucky Career Center and being, Brighton Center being a part of that, we've been, a resource in the past. So we still want to provide the best possible service that we can, but that's kind of limited, really at this time with what we can do. So that really brings me to the end of the questions that I had. So if you're watching us and you do have a question, go ahead and throw it in the chat. There is about a 30-second to minute delay sometimes for your questions to come through. So be sure to throw it in there now. If you don't get it in, that's not a problem. We monitor these for comments after they come in, and we'll be able to get an answer for you. But I just wanted to give you a heads up that if you do have a question that you'd like to ask myself or Ellen or Corey, go ahead and throw it in the chat. And then I'll just kind of have one more question. Is there really anything up to date? I know that we mentioned our hiring events that we have, just maybe the best way to obtain that information about upcoming events.
I would encourage folks to go to our website, nkcareercenter.org, and that is also scrolling. Once you make it to that website, click on events or resources.
Okay.
And that will either lead you to the events calendar, and the resources link will lead you to all of our upcoming event flyers with some detailed information.
Okay, excellent.
I think our biggest large event upcoming is the Advanced Manufacturing Virtual Job Fair that is November 18th. And so I would encourage people to stay tuned for that and be sure to log on and learn about all of the amazing job opportunities there are in the industry sector of advanced manufacturing.
Yeah. And shameless plug here, 2 weeks ago, two or 3 weeks ago, go to our videos, scroll through them, and you'll see myself, our own Eric Owsley, and we discuss with Gateway advanced manufacturing and all the wonderful opportunities. So shameless plug for you to go watch an older video and learn about how great of a career path it can be. So, and be sure to join us on the 18th.
And I would also say, my guess is if you're watching this, you probably follow us on Facebook.
Yeah.
But Facebook is definitely a great way to make sure that you're up to date with the events and the news updates from the Career Center. So if you haven't already you can go ahead and like our page, and then also encourage you to follow us on Twitter and LinkedIn as well. We try to keep we definitely keep that current up to date kind of quick access information on those pages.
Yeah, definitely Facebook is great for updates. That's where you'll find our jobs, our hiring events. So be sure that you're watching. If you're watching this later, it's been shared by a friend and you're seeing it. Like our page, share our page. A lot of great information comes out, especially Tuesdays at 1 o'clock. You can join me every Tuesday at 1 o'clock. And be sure to join us on Thursday, this upcoming Thursday. Haley Franklin will spotlight another Northern Kentucky employee. So be sure to join us Thursdays at 9:30 and Tuesdays at 1 o'clock, and like our Facebook page for the most up-to-date information. So I haven't seen any questions come through. So if something does come through later, I'll reach out to either Corey or Ellen and get the answer for you. But Corey and Ellen, I just want to take time to thank you for joining us today. I know that it's busy. And that there are things changing, and I appreciate you guys being flexible and taking time to join us and being flexible and really helping lead Northern Kentucky Career Centers in this return to the best that we can. Although it's not what we planned or what we wanted, the best that we can do. So thank you both so much for being able to do that for us.
Thank you.
Thanks, Derek.
Well, that's it, everybody. Thank you for joining us. If you're watching us later, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you. And if you have questions, reach out to us. The information, again, is scrolling across the bottom, and it's been added in the comments. And Corey and Ellen, thank you again for joining us. We really appreciate it. All right. Everyone, have a great day. Be sure to join us next Tuesday at 1 o'clock. And this Thursday, Haley Franklin will spotlight another employer. Everybody have a great day. Thanks, everybody.